Hello, my name is Aviv Hadad. How are you doing today, Ravit?
I am well. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. So, as I told you before, I will need 10 to 15 minutes of your time to ask you a couple questions about your job. Is that all right?
That is fine.
Okay. So, we'll start out first with basically what is your current job and what's the title for it?
I'm a senior financial consultant. I work as a senior analyst in a consulting firm
Okay,
with executive advisors.
and how long have you been doing that?
Uh, for 2 years now.
I'm assuming because it's such like a very important role, did you have to do any training or did you have to acquire a degree for it?
Yes, I did. And I have a BA in finance. And I was actually in an executive position throughout my career, moving through different financial positions in the company. And I just learned a lot through experience. And between that and my degree together, it just provide me the platform for this position.
Nice. I'm actually on my way to get my BA in finance as well. How long did it take you to acquire all this, the degree and the training as well?
I actually went on a different route, and I did my degree while working the entire time. As I was growing inside a company, I was doing working on my BA, which took me a little bit longer than expected. I graduated with my associate when I was much younger, but I never completed my BA. And throughout the last position I was at, I was able to finally finish my BA, and it took me about 4 years
Wow.
with a full-time job.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then so basically you landed this position while you were still in school?
No, actually, it was
Okay.
after I finished. Yeah.
All right. And how'd you do so? How did you get to such a good company, while, you know, trying to manage everything?
Um, Actually, this is a project I went into with a previous partner that I worked with, and we saw an actual financial need with numerous joint customers that we work with, and we saw the opportunity, and we decided that we should start a consulting firm that will answer that need,
Mm,
and we went from there.
Gotcha. So you clearly seem very passionate about your job. So like, what do you like most about it?
Uh, for me, it's the numbers. I would say I can spend hours and hours just asking questions from all different spreadsheets and just finding an entire investigation and patterns and just through the numbers of the company and figuring out what are the right business decision and where should the company go on different routes, different strategic routes, and allowing the numbers speak by themselves instead of just guessing or doing any, I don't know, risky routes throughout the business. So this is definitely the numbers. It's all about that.
Yeah,
Like building a puzzle.
I definitely understand. That's one of the reasons that I'm actually pursuing my BA in finance because I do enjoy playing with numbers and getting to exactly where you want to get and seeing exactly what you want to see. But like every job, I feel like everyone just has some sort of pet peeve or something they dislike about their job. If there's one thing that you'd have to say that you just dislike or gets to you here and there, what would it be?
Um, that's a tough one. I would say for me, it's building the reports, just
Okay.
because like I can collect all the data, but then getting all that data and sitting and building those reports to the customers, that's not the fun part for me. But eventually, sitting in front of the customers and showing how all that work came to life and how they're actually able to make strategic decisions through your hard work. That's what just bounced it up immediately afterwards.
Makes sense. Definitely see where you're coming from with that. So like as a college student, I definitely always like to get advice from people who have made it and people who have already been through the path that I soon will be on. So like, what advice would you give to a student that is interested in pursuing the career that you're going through right now?
Uh, that's a hard question.
I mean, like it could
It's a
it could
great
be.
it's a great question. No, it's a great question because like as I was going through school, for me being already like I said having the experience and doing the course of education older, I would say, and not younger, and helped me look at everything that they're studying and how it actually what what's important and what is not important and how many stuff we're studying a lot of time in finance that maybe what's relevant and not relevant and stuff like that. And I can say that unlike most subjects with finance, most of the stuff that you're actually studying, you're utilizing the entire time. And a lot of students, and I see that with the different people that I hired, I would say throughout the past 2 years, is the fact that you learn all this stuff in school and then you forget about it. But with finance, you actually need
To retain it.
use to retain it, to use all the formulas that you studied, everything, like different things, like even a statistic course that you learn how to evaluate data, even if it's just like like in psychology that you're learning how to evaluate research. Everything relates to that. Everything. It's all about looking at numbers and asking the questions and knowing the formulas and always trying to dig more in the numbers and asking the right questions behind it. And I think the one thing that a lot of financial students think it's another finance, economics, accounting course, and it's not. You actually need to use each and everything. And Excel is so important. Excel is your Bible. And use it and learn it and take as much course as possible on Excel and use it to the biggest level, because the more you're a wizard in Excel, it's the higher your peak in any type of job. That's what people are looking for in this industry. And you just make your job so much easier.
And to be honest, you saying that it makes it really relieves me, because I've always been a very big guy on like having to use what I learned rather than learning stuff that I won't be using in the future. And the fact that what you're saying is that I'll actually be using this in the future and I have to retain it, it actually it gives me a little push, because I love that idea. I love that what I'll be learning is something very, very important, and I'll also be using it in the career in the future. Now the last two questions that I have for you are basically questions that I was allowed to create myself. And the first one is, did you know this is what you wanted to do? I feel like, sometimes people know what they want to do and they run with it, or sometimes it changes consistently. So, like, for you personally, did you know you wanted to do this career and to follow it?
Absolutely not.
Okay, so that's
I
that's
was
good to hear.
I was a complete marketing person. That's where I started. That was the route I went when I did my associate and through business school. I was a salesperson all my life. I grew as a salesperson and on the operational level as chief operating officer in a different company. And just only when I got to the point that I understood how I can manipulate an entire company by moving from tactical choices to strategy, and to understand where the strategy comes from, that's when my entire perception completely changed. And that point I decided that that's it. I want to go and go do my degree in finance and just understand how the CEOs are making those decisions, those tough decisions based on a gut feeling and numbers and all together, and how do you read the map correctly. And I just wanted to know, and as I was reading about it more and more, I just knew that's where I want to be, and that's what I'm good at.
Okay. So I mean that's the wonderful answer. That was very very like straightforward. I love that. Now for the very last question, you know, you clearly, like I said, you're passionate about this job. Do you see yourself continuing with this job, or you know, as a businesswoman, sometimes it's very easy to branch off into other businesses and doing other things, like you said, marketing. Would you prefer to stay in the strict finance world, or do you see yourself moving into another career, you know, in the future as you try to grow?
I would say as I'm working as a consultant in the finance world, so I'm getting both worlds, and I'm getting fulfilled from many different aspects of it. So like I said, doing your education in finance, it opens to so many different things, and it doesn't limit you to be an employee in a bank or employee what finance used to be. Right now, you need people in finance, auditors, everywhere, in each and every company. There's so many different positions. Analyst is the most wanted position today, everywhere, because we're getting to a world of data, and all these data needs to be analyzed. And there's not enough people that can actually analyze this data. And this is why finance is such a rising profession right now. And I think I would definitely want to stay in it. I started early in it, and I would definitely want to grow and see where this world goes, because as more and more things are being automated, there's no, like I said, who knows where this is going to get. It's beautiful.
Agreed. I truly agree with you. Well, to be completely honest, those were the multiple questions that I had to ask you. So your part is very much finished. You did an amazing job. You literally answered everything that I've wanted in a way that I couldn't ask for it to be done better. So I really thank you for taking your time out of your day and speaking to me for about 15 minutes. And I hope you have a wonderful week, Ravit. And once again, thank you so much for your time. This was very important for me. And I think you definitely helped me get a step forward on what my future will look like. So I really appreciate that. And once again, thank you.
Thank you, and thank you for reminding me again why I love my job.
Thank you, and have a wonderful night.